So I just had two P42s that were factory installed Tsunami. These were early run P42s, the first batch, 6101, 6103. There were two people who installed Soundtraxx, and at the time it was ESU LokSound Select decoders because the V5s weren't out yet. But the amusing thing is, many lifetimes ago when P42s with sound first came out, I had actually installed sound in these too. There were only two people who ever installed sound in these when I was at Kato, me being one of them, and then a gentleman named Mr. Saito in Japan. And I can tell this was one of my installs because I just used a different color heat shrink tubing than him. But other than that, most everything was pretty similar. There were a couple other minor things I could tell too, but yeah, I probably installed sound in these like 10 years ago. So it goes to figure, after all the fiasco I went through to get two V5 decoders and two Keep Alives, the small Keep Alive, I have the other one inside. Get everything all put back together. No matter how you wiggle this thing anywhere, it will not fit, even though this is such a large model. So I just came out here and machined a cavity in there. The decoder's on the other side. And it should fit. I'll just machine this guy too, and then I'll be done with it. This is just a quick overview of a couple of Kato HO scale P42s that came in for conversion to ESU LokSound V5s. These ones are kind of interesting because when they came in, they were some of the first run P42s. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the label. 6101 and 6103. Just different road numbers on there. That came out a number of years ago. And back when I was at Brand K, I actually installed these Soundtraxx decoders. There's only two people who actually ever installed sound in these things. Myself being one, and then a gentleman over in Japan named Mr. Saito, who installed them for Kato. But yeah, so it was interesting seeing, stuff I'd installed 8, 9, 10 years ago come back and have the Tsunami ones taken out. And I'm just going to show you this guy because he's in pieces. There's two of these here. So what you have here is, this is a modified factory light board that has been modified. You can see some pins and some jumpers and what have you. One of the biggest disservices Kato ever did with these models was they left on the light boards, they left the provision for an 8-pin plug. They did not actually install pins in them. So these I was able to acquire from Japan. You can also punch them out of older Kato boards and resolder them in. But I think it was one of those poor things. Anyway, so this one also got a couple of other upgrades. So it has a V5 full size in there. This one also has separate independent LEDs run for the ditch lights. For the ditch lights. And if you go over to the other side, and of course I didn't realize this until I got it the first one all the way back together. This has a Keep Alive, the smaller one they have in there. But there's not enough space in there, so after I had the first one all back together, I had to pull these things back apart, and I had to machine a slot in both frames for them to fit properly. Neither here nor there. Know for next time if somebody wants one of those put in. But, be it as it may, I'm only just going to give a quick proof of life of one because they're both identical. But we are going to hit sound, forward headlights. Ditch lights is on 6. Just let that spool up for a minute. And to put in this into head and power, or where the prime mover is running at run 8 all the time for head and power, you would hit F28 on a controller. The one I have here, I can't do it on, so we're not going to do that, obviously. There's your alternating ditch lights, and you won't be able to see it in this direction, but when I flip to reverse, you can see the red marker lights. The red marker lights are also on the rear, but and away we go. I only have like a 4-foot test track here, so we're not going to do too much with this guy. I rarely do HO setups anymore. There you go. HO Kato P42 with ESU LokSound installed. And since we're here, we're just going to prove the other guy exists. Thank you. Pause. And it's still running for a few seconds. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope y'all are having a great day.